So the first question I will be working out today is question 6, and it says, the circle in the figure below has a radius of r and a center at C. The distance from A to B is x. Redraw the figure below and label as indicated in the problem, and then solve the problem. If C is 58 degrees and x is 30, find r. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. So we'll be finding r. So the first step is to redraw the triangle and the circle. So it looks like this. That's the right triangle. And then the circle would be right here. And the first thing that they're asking is to find r. So I'm still labeling the triangle. This is r, and they said that x equals 30. So they told us that angle C is 58 degrees. So we're just labeling that. They told us that x equals 30. We labeled that. So the first thing we should do is find angle A to help us find r. So to find angle A, we know that if this is 90 degrees, 90 plus 58 degrees, which is our C, that equals 148. And if we subtract that by 180, we will get 32 degrees. And that's angle A. Angle A is 32 degrees. 32 degrees. Now we'll be finding r. So we know that we have to use one of our trigonometric functions. So we know that we're trying to find r, and they gave us 58 degrees. We have 32, and we could do cosine, which is adjacent with hypotenuse, and that's what we have because they gave us x is 30. So this is the first step of how to do it. So you're going to do cosine. Okay, so cosine of 58 degrees equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Our adjacent is r, and then our hypotenuse is r. You're gonna include the entire line. So it also includes r plus 30. So we can do r plus 30. If we want to find r, first thing we're going to do is multiply r plus 30 on both sides to get r by itself. R plus 30, that cancels out on the right side. We're doing r plus 30 here. So our new equation is r plus 30 times cosine of 58 degrees equals r. Our next step is to we're going to subtract. No, our next step is to distribute. We're going to do algebra, and we're going to distribute the r plus 30 to the cosine of 58 degrees. And by doing that, it helps us solve the r. So we're going to distribute r times cosine. So that is r cosine 58 degrees. Then we're going to distribute 30 to cosine of 58 plus 30 cosine 58 equals r. Now that we have r integrated into our cosine, we're going to subtract r cosine of 58 to put all the variables on one side and numbers on the other side. So we're going to subtract r cosine 58 degrees and then subtract it on this side. So I'm going to do it here so that there's more room. So now our new problem is 30 cosine 58 degrees equals r minus r which is the one we brought here, r cosine of 58 degrees. Next thing we're going to do, we see that we could take out an r here to simplify it better. So our new equation, 58 degrees equals r 1 minus cosine of 58 degrees. And I did that because you can take it out from there. Now that we took out the r from this, again, we want to separate our r's and our numbers. So we're going to divide the cosine on both sides. So 1 minus cosine of 58 degrees, that cancels out. And we're going to divide it here. 1 minus cosine 58 degrees. And now our new equation is 30 cosine 58 degrees over 1 minus cosine of 58 degrees equals r. And at this point, it's just calculator work. And with our calculator, it gives us 33.8 equals r. However, they wanted us to round to the nearest whole number. So because I have 33.8, I'm going to round up. It's 34. 34. And you always have to find the units. Make sure that we're using the correct units. Yeah, so there's no units. R is just our radius. So 34 is our radius. And that's how you solve question 6 for the first test exam, Trig online exam number 1. You can look at it a little bit. Okay.